What if the Chicago Bears just tapped into a hidden gem, a diamond found in the rough that could reshape the entire edge position? Could this be the game changer we've been longing for to reclaim our ferocity and tenacity on the gridiron? In the shadows of Hollis Hall, whispers are spreading like wildfire. A new force has risen, a name that everyone's going to know very soon. Hit that like button, subscribe for every electrifying twist and turn we uncover, and drop a comment below wishing the best of luck to our newest edge warrior. The Chicago Bears have signed Xavier Carlton, an undrafted free agent out of Cal who's about to turn some heads. This guy stands towering at a massive 6 feet 6 inches and weighs in at over 270 pounds. And let me tell you, he's not just size. He's got the speed and strength that can electrify our defensive line. The scouts are perplexed. They're asking, how did a player with this kind of profile slip through the cracks? But that's the beauty of football. It's a game, a redemption, and a platform for the undervalued to prove themselves. Everyone is buzzing, and inside sources from the Draft Network are all but licking their chops, referring to Carlton as a highly intriguing ball of clay, just waiting for the right hands to mold him into a monster. Think about it. With Dennis Allen working his magic, we might be seeing the rise of an edge rusher that can redefine our defense as we know it. But emotions run deep here, Bears fans. We felt the heartbreak of missed opportunities and the frustration of seasons that didn't quite go our way. Just look at us. Legends like Peyton, Ehrlicher, and Hester echo in our hearts. And after all those decades of heart-pounding moments, are we finally witnessing the dawn of a new era? With our defensive line still riddled with question marks despite the splashy signings of Montez Sweat and Dio, it feels like the stars might just be aligning. Last season's defense hit rock bottom after Andrew Billings went down, leaving a gaping hole that seemed impossible to fill. And let's be real, we had our hopes pinned on Eric Washington. What a letdown that was. But here comes Carlton bursting onto the scene. He's not your run-of-the-mill edge rusher. He's capable of pursuing ball carriers and sealing the edge with the finesse we desperately need. Can you imagine him tearing through opposing offensive lines, pursuing quarterbacks, and launching himself into tackles? Suddenly, our run defense might start looking like a fortress rather than a leaky ship. This is the kind of determination and raw potential that could transform us from a team with potential to one that sends shivers down the spine of every opponent. Speculation runs rampant. What if this raw talent evolves into a force we haven't seen since the days when our defense ruled with an iron fist? The stakes couldn't be higher. What if Carlton, fresh off a stellar season that saw him racking up tackles and almost doubling his sack total, becomes that secret weapon we've all been yearning for? The thought alone is enough to send chills down your spine. What if this undrafted rookie becomes the banner under which future Super Bowl dreams march forward? Or conversely, what if he falters under pressure, unable to rise to the occasion? We've seen young talents flame out before. It's the risk we accept as passionate fans. Every new signing carries the weight of expectation. And as we stand at the precipice of this new chapter, eyes glued to training camp, the question looms: will Carlton's undrafted legacy become a legendary tale in our annals, or just another what could have been? Get ready, because the answer is just around the corner, and believe me, you won't want to miss it. Stay tuned for part 2, where we dive deep into Carlton's impacts, potential pitfalls, and whether he's set to be the hero we didn't know we needed, or another cautionary tale for the ages. Bear down. Listen up, Bears Nation, because we're standing on the tightrope of despair and hope, the kind of rope we've been teetering on since the days of Singletary's bone-crushing hits and Ehrlicher's unmatched grit. It's time to rise from the ashes of our anguish and shout it into the cold Chicago air. We are still Bears. This franchise, this city, has endured too much heartbreak. The 1985 Super Bowl elation turned to a distant memory as we're washed in the bitter tang of the double. Doink, a cruel reminder of what could have been. Remember 2010? The NFC Championship slipping through our fingers. leaving only the echo of a ghost like Jay Cutler on the sideline and a collective chokehold of anguish gripping our chests. And 2018, where we thought we had finally clawed our way back to relevance only. To see those dreams crush and scatter like leaves beneath an unforgiving autumn sky, our hearts shattering as that kick sailed wide. But what if, just what if this year is different? What if the locker room, those young stars looking to establish their legacy, respond to the ghosts of our past instead of cowering in their shadows? Now imagine if Justin Fields not only learns from his past but goes from being the man with potential to the man we all need him to be, the one who rises in the fourth quarter, when the stakes are highest. Much like Hester did, turning dread into destiny, electrifying Soldier Field and sending ripples through Lambeau. Imagine the front office finally making the moves we always wished they would. Securing the right pieces around our young quarterback offensive. Linemen who won't let him be a sitting duck, wide receivers who can stretch the field, not just run basic routes. Think about how the Packers, Lions, and Vikings would watch in contempt as we storm the field again, striking fear into their hearts. But what if our ownership is content with mediocrity? What if they allow this season to slip through their fingers? Just like so many of our heartbreaks have in the past? You could feel the doubt creeping in like lake wind off Soldier Field in December, biting and cold, sapping strength from our arms and will to cheer. Our beloved team, once instilled with the legacy of greatness, can't be turned into a laughingstock or worse abandoned to irrelevance. The echoes of a sold-out crowd ringing through the empty promise of the field when the lights shine bright and loud during late autumn, when we should be fighting for the playoffs. How ironic would it be if our cursed history ultimately led us to glory or led us straight back to the drawing board, left wondering if this was simply a glorious distraction from the bigger failings at Hollis Hall? The agony of our past weighs heavily as we witness the choices being made today. I can see it now, a pivotal moment etched in history upon us. Will we honor the legacy of those greats who laid it down for us? Or will we stumble blindly into another cycle of despair? The contrast is stark, those roster decisions, those fateful snaps, and game plans being laid almost feel like a test of our fandom. And yet, amidst this storm of questions and emotions, the reality is that we may soon face the ultimate decision. Will this team finally redeem the fractures left in our hearts, or drag us back into a spiral of yet another bitter reckoning? Because as the pieces fall into place this season, we must ask ourselves, when the dust settles, will we find ourselves clutching onto the fractured remains of another heart-wrenching collapse, or rediscover the fire that led Walter Payton and the boys of '85 to glory? The tension sits heavy. The echoes of our history scream for change, but will we see it? Or will we find ourselves wandering the twisted paths of memories year after year, heartbreak after heartbreak, searching for that one moment of clarity? In the chaos? Are we on the cusp of hope, or are we heading towards another heartbreak that will linger in our minds like a cruel wind?